Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. It's good to be back. I took off a couple days because here in the good old USA where I live, it was a holiday weekend. We had Labor Day, and so I just ended up taking a couple days. But yes, it's good to be back in the seat here, reporting on the latest Ripple and XRP news. I've got a few things I want to talk about in this particular video. I've got a piece first from dailyhodl.com titled Ripple moves 500 million XRP, hires U.S. legislative assistant, and push for global adoption. I've also got a piece from Daily Hodl about Stellar, actually. Check this out. $717 billion asset manager plans to launch Stellar-based investment fund. And couldn't help but think of Arrington XRP Capital when I read that. But anyway, I'll get into the specifics of this. It's not exactly the same. And I've also got a piece, and this is fun, especially in light of the fact that we're talking about Ripple's new hire and coming from a legislative background, what that means. Given that is the case, this article I found interesting. It's titled, Amazon Crypto Rumors Surface Sparked by New Financial Survey. Now, before we get going here, boys and girls, if you would please delicately tap that like button, and if you're a fan of Ripple and XRP, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. It's a good thing to do on a pleasant Wednesday. So let's hop right into this content here. Ripple has hired a new government relations manager amidst continued expansion of the company's cross-border payment services. Ron Hammond, a former legislative assistant to Ohio Republican Congressman Warren Davidson, announced his hiring on Twitter. And I actually went ahead and pulled up the official Twitter tweet here from Ron Hammond, because I was not familiar with him, but I went ahead and gave him a follow because I do try and follow all Ripple employees. Me personally, I like to follow everybody that's into XRP because I just want my entire Twitter feed filled with nothing but XRP content. And it tends to work out pretty well when I do that. So anyway, the official tweet from him reads, excited to announce that as of today, I am the new manager of government relations for Ripple. Thrilled to bring all of my legislative experience, including crafting the Token Taxonomy Act, to the team. Special thanks to Michelle Bond 111 and at S. Aldrodi for this opportunity here. And look, at the very first response here to that was somebody giving a little XRP tip. Good job, Dakota Shipley. That's nice. I love the XRP tip bot. It is just the coolest technology, and that is an actual use case, by the way. It's changing the way in which people fundamentally move money on the internet. So anyway, that's a whole different conversation, though. So let me dig in a little bit further. The Token Taxonomy Act would amend the Securities Act of 1933 and the Securities Exchange Act of 1940, exempting cryptocurrencies from U.S. securities laws, which in my mind makes a whole lot of sense. Please move forward with some sort of regulatory clarity because cryptocurrencies are fundamentally different animals than anything else you have ever classified as or has ever been classified as a security. Cryptocurrencies can be all sorts of different things. They can be actual currencies. They can be utility coins. There's all sorts of ways in which they can be used. And the ways in which they can be used can change over time, along with the degree to which they're decentralized. So fundamentally, very different animal here. So he'll bring his wisdom on board to Ripple, and this also just goes to show how forward-thinking Ripple is when it comes to understanding just how important the need for regulatory clarity actually is. It's the opposite of what Facebook did in announcing, "Hey, we're going to launch Libra. It's a cryptocurrency. Guess what? We don't care what you think, regulators. We just doing it." Now we'll see if that ever even comes to pass, but man. Maybe engage with regulators before just being like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. Tuesday's announcement came just as Whale Alert reported that Ripple sent 500 million XRP, worth roughly 130 million, from its over-the-counter distribution wallet. Ripple uses that wallet to sell XRP to crypto exchanges and institutional participants. Now, I think this is funny because this is it is a crypto media article, so another obvious mistake here. Okay, so 500 million XRP. No, that's not what was sent. You can see in the Whale Alert included in their own article right here, it was 50 million. They added an extra zero there that shouldn't have been there. So it's worth about 13.1 million United States dollars. But as you know, if you've been following crypto for any length of time, especially if you've been following my channel, you know that if you work in crypto media, it is frowned upon to check your own work. Leave if there's an original typo when you type up your original draft of a piece, just go ahead and leave it. It really adds to the authenticity of what you're working on there. And of course, if there are factual blunders, you definitely want to leave those in as well. Anything to make your article have like a hint of truth, but be wildly off base beyond that. If you're more along those lines, yeah, you're doing a great job if you're in crypto media. So anyway, it was 50 million XRP, 13.1 million United States dollars. Ripple owns more than half of the total supply of XRP and says it sells portions of its holdings to operate the company and fund blockchain and crypto-based projects. The fintech company sold 251.51 million in XRP during the second quarter of this year, and 169.42 million in the first quarter. And so, what is it? It's the fourth today, right? Okay, so less than 1 month remaining in this particular quarter, and I am looking forward to seeing, I don't know about you guys, I'm really looking forward to seeing what the third quarter XRP markets report is going to look like from Ripple, because they have announced that they will indeed be selling less XRP, and that comes on, well, it's an evolution in the way that they're collecting data based on actual volumes on exchanges. And Ripple's really the leader on this, and I think CoinMarketCap is now kind of slowly moving along in this direction, allegedly at least. But the way in which cryptocurrency volumes have been reported that actually had a lot to do with how much XRP Ripple was willing to sell, because they only want it to be a certain percentage of the market, basically, because they don't want to suppress XRP price in any sort of meaningful way. They don't want it to crater or crash, and they're nowhere near it, in risk of actually doing that. The last number that I saw is that their volume accounts for 0.32% of all volume that's reported on exchange. So it's like a very or on Ledger rather. So it's a very small percentage anyway. And they're not in danger of doing that. Never have done that. But even so, they want to stay informed as far as what the actual volumes are. And then when they realized, hey, maybe there's a better way to report this, and we should adjust what we're selling accordingly, that seems brilliant to me. And they have a 30-year plan for selling pretty much all of their XRP. So they're very long-term thinkers here. It's, reasonable stuff, I think. Ripple, however, has been criticized by certain vocal elements of crypto Twitter for its sales of XRP in recent weeks. A month ago, an XRP investor launched a petition urging the company to stop selling its holdings. It now has more than 3,100 signatures. And I was thinking about that, and 3,100 maybe to some people could sound like a lot. I want to point this out. There are close to 1.8 million XRP account activations, so 1.8 million wallets. Now, sure, true enough, we don't know how many humans it is that are operating those. A couple of reasons. Well, first of all, if you have an XRP wallet, you might have more than one. Maybe you've got 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. But on the flip side, I'm not sure if you guys realize this. I'm sure some of you do actually. But if you only have a wallet on an exchange like, for instance, Binance, those are actually shared wallets, and so you might not realize it, but your XRP is in the same wallet as a bunch of other people's XRP, and that's why you have a destination tag actually associated. It's like your address within that wallet, essentially, is the best way to describe it, I suppose. And so it makes me wonder how many people only have XRP addresses on exchanges. Because if that's the case, I mean, there could be way more people holding XRP than we think, but if most people are indeed doing what would be the wiser thing and ultimately getting their own wallets and getting it off exchanges, well, then who knows, maybe it could be less than 1.8 million. I don't know if there's a good way to state that, but either way, I wanted to point that out just to state 3,100 signatures, that's, what is that, like 1 point something percent? If there's 1.8 million people, it's almost nobody that has signed this thing, which in my mind bodes well, because it's kind of silly anyway. Let me go ahead and hop into, actually, I was going to show you this too, just this is the actual transaction of 50 million XRP, not 500, so I did pull it up just to show, yes, here it is on the whale alert, 50 million, not 500 million. Better luck next time, Daily Hodl. Alright, so this piece, 717 billion asset manager plans to launch Stellar-based investment fund. American asset management giant Franklin Templeton is planning to launch a government securities investment fund built on the Stellar network. The firm, which has $717 billion in assets under management, has submitted a preliminary statement on the fund to the SEC describing how it will utilize Stellar's distributed ledger. And here's a quote now. Although the fund's transfer agent will maintain the official record of share ownership in book entry form, the ownership of the fund's shares will also be recorded on the Stellar network, an electronic distributed ledger that is secured using cryptography, referred to as a blockchain. And then they go on to describe what a blockchain is. I don't really want to read that part of it. The reason that I found this fascinating to any degree is because a lot of people, I think, still tend to view Stellar as a primary competitor to Ripple, and I never really have. The vast majority of the time that I've been in the world of cryptocurrency, I see that, okay, so they're you know what they're really doing? It's like they're seeking to bank the unbanked, essentially, and go to some of the more destitute parts of the world to get them banked. And I'm sure very noble intent and all of that, and maybe they'll find success. But to me, that just sounds markedly different than the way that Ripple is implementing their vision for the Internet of Value. To me, it just seems that there's not a ton of crossover the way that they're both currently going to market. So in my mind, it's like, hey, I want there to be multiple winners within the asset class. I really do. I think that what's the saying? A rising tide raises all boats, or something like that. Something to that effect. And that's kind of the way that Ripple looks at it too. They don't believe for a moment that you hear Brad Garlinghouse talk about this quite a bit. Ripple CEO, he states he doesn't think that there's going to be one coin to rule them all. And I share the sentiment. I don't think it's reasonable to believe that would be the case. It's better to just have lots of winners so that we can have this asset class grow at a faster pace. So that's what I'm a proponent for, but still wanted to mention this. All right, here's a piece on Amazon now. Amazon crypto rumors surface sparked by new financial survey. Rumors of a potential crypto asset from Amazon are once again surfacing thanks to a new survey of financial analysts. The predictive analytics company Syndicator asked a group of analysts which company is most likely to launch a cryptocurrency to compete with Facebook's Libra. 22.62% of analysts named Amazon as the most likely to announce its own crypto, reports CCN, ahead of Google, Apple, Walmart, and Microsoft and other tech giants. Amazon has a number of blockchain patents, but has been wary to publicly enter the debate on the future of cryptocurrency. Amazon owns AmazonBitcoin.com, which redirects to the company's official website, and Amazon Web Services has launched a suite of blockchain products and solutions. The company recently posted a job listing on LinkedIn stating it's building a blockchain-based advertising platform. However, once reports of the listing surfaced, the company quietly removed any references to blockchain technology. However, the vice president of Amazon Pay says the company is not likely to launch a Libra competitor anytime soon. Speaking in June at Fortune's Brainstorm 2019, Patrick Gauthier, I'm probably saying that wrong, said the company is focused on the here and now. Quote, "At Amazon, we deal with data a lot, so I'll be happy to have that conversation 2 to 3 years from now. I think right now we deal on the type of customer needs we can solve in the now. On the question of Libra, I think it's fresh. It's speculative. At Amazon, we deal not really in the speculative, but in the now. So I don't really have a lot to add on this. I think you point out something really important, which is trust in the Amazon brand. This is something we take super, super seriously." That sounds like a dig at Facebook because, yeah, Facebook and trust, do those words go together even? I think most people would say probably not, or a firm no perhaps there. But you know what? If I were Amazon, I would maybe. I mean, seriously, I think this guy's probably being forthright about the general thoughts as far as cryptocurrency and launching something. But if I were Amazon, I'd want to see how this all plays out for Facebook. They already did it. They already made the silly move to kind of say, "Hey, we're gonna do this," without really getting regulators on board first. Let's see how that all pans out, and then who knows, maybe Amazon will jump in and launch their own coin at some point in the future if there's some sort of reason they can come up with that'll have it make sense. Who knows exactly what that would look like? But I don't think that. I don't know if Libra is going to be here to stay. I'll stay. I don't know if Libra's going to launch, and if so, what kind of staying power it would have. And if that happens, I don't know if that would lead potentially to other big names like Amazon coming out and launch. We're just going to have to sit tight and wait. But either way, if they're coins that are backed by fiat currencies, as it would be the case with Libra, it'd be a basket of fiat currencies, you can't do the same stuff with it, and that comes down to one word, being the primary reason. Trust. Trust is required for those coins, but with XRP, it's a trustless system, and you don't really need trust, because, unless... the only thing you have to trust in is cryptography. That's it. Completely different type of beast there. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. It's good to be back here. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!